Back in the days when royalty and aristocrats ruled the world in powdered wigs and corsets, they didn't just sleep in any old bed. They slept in canopied beds, and for some pretty good reasons. Sure, they looked luxurious and dramatic, but there was more to it than just aesthetics. Those grand draped four-poster beds weren't just for show. They were practical, symbolic, and in some cases absolutely necessary for survival. First and foremost, it was cold, really cold. Before central heating was a thing, castles, palaces, and manor houses were drafty nightmares. We're talking icy stone walls, high ceilings that trapped heat far, far away from where you actually slept, and windows that weren't exactly double-glazed. Even the most extravagant palaces had this issue. After all, what's the point of having giant windows if they're just going to let in a winter breeze strong enough to make you regret existing? Enter the canopied bed with its thick, heavy curtains. These weren't just delicate, gauzy things for decoration. No, these were serious, heavy-duty fabrics like velvet, brocade, or thick linen that could block out the chill. At night, aristocrats would pull the curtains closed, creating a little insulated cocoon of warmth. Considering that sleeping fully dressed with multiple layers of blankets was common, you can imagine how necessary this was to avoid freezing to death in your own palace. Now, if you think that being an aristocrat meant you had privacy, think again. Servants were everywhere all the time. If you were a king or queen, you barely got a moment to yourself. You didn't just wake up and stretch luxuriously in the morning. Oh no, you had a ceremonial waking up process, often with courtiers and attendants bustling around, bringing in clothes, pouring water, and generally invading your personal space. Canopied beds with their thick curtains at least gave some illusion of privacy. If you were a nobleman with servants constantly scurrying about, or a lady with maids coming in at all hours, you might at least be able to get some shut-eye without feeling like you were on display. For royals, who sometimes even held court from their beds, the canopy added a layer of grandeur, turning the bed into a throne-like centerpiece of the room. Palaces and grand houses may have been magnificent, but they weren't exactly free of pests. Imagine you're a duke in the 17th century, lying in bed, and suddenly, plop, a spider, or worse, a rat, drops from the wooden beams onto your silk-covered pillow. Not exactly the luxury you had in mind. Canopied beds helped prevent this kind of nightmare scenario. The fabric acted as a barrier, keeping out dust, bugs, and other unwelcome guests that might be lurking in the rafters. Of course, being a noble or a royal meant showing off, and what better way to prove your wealth than by having a gigantic, lavishly decorated bed? Canopied beds weren't just practical, they were a status symbol. The richer you were, the more elaborate your bed would be. The grandest of these beds featured intricately carved wood, gold embroidery, and silk drapes that cost a fortune. Some even had family crests embroidered into the fabric, or were designed in elaborate colors that showed off political or family allegiances. A massive four-poster bed wasn't just for sleeping, it was a statement piece. For some aristocrats, the bedroom wasn't just a private retreat, it was a place where business was conducted. Imagine a French king lounging in bed while his advisors stood around, discussing important matters of state. The canopied bed gave a sense of grandeur, making the act of waking up or even just reclining seem like an event worthy of royal attention. In some cases, visitors or servants would be allowed into the bedroom for morning audiences or to watch the rising ceremony of a nobleman, where they would dress and prepare for the day. The canopy added a bit of mystique. Who knows what kind of plotting or pillow talk diplomacy was going on behind those curtains? Lastly, let's not forget the sheer drama of a canopied bed. Aristocrats loved theatrics, and these beds were the ultimate scene-setting furniture. Whether it was a queen dramatically drawing back the curtains in the morning or a secret tryst hidden behind velvet drapes, the bed itself became a stage for high society. In literature and art, canopied beds are often depicted as places of romance, intrigue, or betrayal. Whether it was Catherine the Great's opulent chambers or Marie Antoinette's boudoir, these beds were the ultimate in aristocratic indulgence. As you can see, canopied beds weren't just about looking fancy, they served multiple functions. Today, even though modern heating and insulation have made them unnecessary, the romance of the canopied bed still lingers in period dramas and historic homes. And who wouldn't want to sleep like a king or queen, wrapped in luxurious fabric, tucked away in a cocoon of elegance?